Good day. This is Roxana Bangura of the Roxana Bangura channel and the Bangura Chronicles, where I and my daughter Amaris share with you our life in Mexico and beyond. Hello, everyone. I know it's been some time. I think the last time I spoke to you was in August. Apologies if you can hear in my voice. I'm sick. I'm very sick. Me and my daughter have a sinus infection that we've been fighting for the better part of all of September, just about. And here we are well into October, and we're still very sick. Lots of congestion. I had laryngitis. It really affected me, so I was unable to come and talk to you. I didn't want to talk on camera with my voice being shot, and I'm still congested. So excuse me throughout the video. I'm coming to you today because I want to share with you an experience that I had and a realization that I've come to. Some time ago, well, let me backtrack. Me making the decision to move abroad this time around with my daughter, I started thinking about it in 2014. 2015, I started doing serious inquiries, and I was actually headed to. My intention originally was to head to the Gambia, which is where my mother and father were born. The Gambia is a really teeny country on the west coast of Africa, and I was intending to go there. But my plans fell through, so I had to kind of reroute. But my intention is eventually to still live part-time, at least within West Africa and Mexico. That is my overall intention. Anyway, started to research Mexico, started gathering information about Mexico, and made the decision about moving to Mexico in 2016. During the course of me researching, I researched Mexico voraciously, like every day, all the time. I became obsessed with learning as much as I could about Mexico, Mexican culture, Mexican people, life here, and everything. So during that time, I was joining different groups. I was a part of different groups, different chat rooms, as well as Facebook. Facebook is a resource that I used. And I belonged to groups that had people from Mexico, local Mexican people, Mexican Americans, as well as immigrants and expats to Mexico. So I was really getting a cross section of opinions. And one such woman reached out to me. She was a local Mexican woman, and she reached out to me on Facebook, and we started to correspond with one another. We shared a lot of intimacies, our marriages. We talked about our children, their futures, our hopes, everything. We commiserated about a lot of different things. And I felt as though we had a good connection. So we connected in 2016, continued corresponding. At one point, she even suggested that I move into a home that I think she owned or she was renting or somewhere near her home, but I had already decided to live in a different area, not a little ways away from where she lived. I didn't want to live where she lived, so I declined that. So fast forward to the move in 2017, after my daughter completed third grade, we moved, and I lost contact with her for a bit, adjusting to life here. And then this past summer, we reconnected again. Talked again on Facebook, kind of picked up where we left off. She was kind enough, to invite me to her home. One Saturday, Amaris and I went there, and she cooked a lovely lunch. We had a good time. I met her husband. Great conversation, good time, good food. And then the following weekend, she invited us over again. And she enticed us with ceviche. I love ceviche. And I had never had it homemade. I'd always eaten in a restaurant. So I was curious. I'm greedy. I like food. I'm a foodie. So we went over again to have ceviche. And this time, her children and grandchildren were there. So we had a great conversation, discussing life here where we live, as well as other areas of Mexico, and talked about life in the States. Her husband has been to many different countries in Europe, and he's been to North Africa. So we talked about travel and all these different global issues. So it was a very stimulating conversation, good food, we had a good time. And, she had advised me that since, I was new to Mexico, I needed to be cautious, that I was a single woman, that I was a single mother. I needed to be aware of who, I had around me and my daughter, which, I agreed with. And, I took that to heart, and I appreciate her advice. The following weekend, after that weekend, the ceviche weekend, or during the week sometime, she sends me a message telling me that she was very sad and she wasn't happy. And I says, what's going on? She said, well, they've kidnapped my sister. I said, what? What are you saying? I was flabbergasted. She said her sister got kidnapped and that it's very dangerous. They were going to kill her sister. I kid you not. This is what this woman said to me. They were going to kill her sister and that she had a portion of the ransom money, but she needed more. And I'm like, what's going on? What are you going to do? Have you contacted the police? Have you spoken to your sister? And this was in another area of Mexico, very far away, another state, not where we live, allegedly, supposedly. And she goes on and on. I told her, I said, well, what do you want me to do? There's nothing I can do. I don't have these funds to help you. And I knew instinctively at that point that she had more or less befriended me for nefarious reasons. I believe that she assumed that I was from a richer country or a more, the assumption is because I'm from the United States, that it's a richer country, maybe with a better economy in some instances in Mexico, that I had access to wealth, that I had access to untapped money. The amount she needed was, I think like over $10,000 US. I just happened to have this amount laying around for her to use for her sister. And I believe that it was a lie. I believe that this was a story that she made up because she wanted to extort money from me. And she had befriended me nearly, 2 years, basically, to hustle me, to get money from me because I was coming from the United States, because I was coming from a richer country, and maybe she thought that I had money. And this is not a unique thing for her being Mexico. This is just the perception of someone maybe being in a lesser developed country, making assumptions about someone coming from a richer country, a more developed country, that they have access to wealth. And it's not an indictment of Mexico. So this was, of course, I cut off all communication with her. She thinks I'm Boo Boo the Fool because she's, tried to have me come back over to her home. I plan on never seeing her again in life. But more to the point, another lesson in that me here in Mexico, my heart, I'm very sincere with my intentions here. I make overtures in engaging local people, forming friendships, acquaintances with people who are local in my community, whether it be through school, whether it be my neighbors, whether it be just people out and about, friends of my sister here, trying to make a genuine connection here. I look for the commonalities with myself and my culture and here in Mexico. I always reference, coming from New York and growing up with Spanish speakers and being a child of immigrants and being first generation and all of these things I always mention during the course of me meeting people, interacting with people. And, I forget that, I also carry this blue passport, that I'm also, I am American, and people have a perception because I'm from this country that maybe I have access to wealth, I have access to dollars, which is, the dollar is stronger than the peso. And that's something that I have to always be cognizant of, that people are not necessarily going to engage me because of my character, the content of my character and who I am, but because of what they think I can offer to them and how I can benefit them. A vampire-ish, type of situation. And so this was a lesson learned because she had reached out to me under the guise of friendship, but, she was basically trying to scam me, is what it was. She was trying to scam me. So, that's life abroad. That's an experience that I've had. And I'm definitely going to be more cautious and wary of who I engage and, which circles I run in. But that was something that was very disappointing and very disheartening because I thought that she was a good person, but she turned out not to be. So that's life here in Mexico, life here in Veracruz or Orizaba. I hope you're well. Excuse me, I'm very congested. My voice sounds terrible. As I said, I'm still dealing with a sinus infection. And on another note, on a weight loss note, I've been here 16 months. And I guess this will be like an update. We've been here about 16 months, and I've lost about over nearly 40 pounds. And I want to be within the normal range of my weight. So I have some 20 some odd pounds more to lose. But I'm very happy that I'm finally going to be within a normal range of my weight. I just for my height rather. Like I'm going to be in normal weight for my height. And I've been, exercising and working out since I was 30, and that's been a long time. It's been, nearly 14 years now, and I'm still overweight. So getting closer. I'm seeing the finish line. I'm seeing getting to my desired weight. I'm seeing that that's actually attainable. Like 160 pounds is actually attainable. I don't want to be anywhere near 200 pounds. I don't want to be anywhere near 190 pounds. So that's that. And a lot of that has to do with really giving up on eating sugar, still eating carbs. I do eat carbs, but really, limiting my sugar and always exercising. We walk a lot, and always having access to fresh, verduras y frutas, always having access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Amaris is in 5th grade. She's doing well. She got invited recently to a friend's birthday party. So hopefully she can have some, good friendships in her class this year. And she still misses the States. She misses our life in the States, and that's something that we have to grapple with, we have to deal with on a daily basis. So there's that. Well, she got to get the Spanish. Still looking for a Mandarin teacher. Thought I had one, and then she couldn't fulfill the contract. She couldn't work with me based on her schedule. And there's still French. So that's what's going on with Amaris. And that's a brief update of our life here. I hope you enjoy your Halloween. We'll do Halloween. Amaris will go trick-or-treating or with a group of children. We never go door to door. It's always in a group in mass. She'll go just to the local businesses in our neighborhood, in our area. And then right after that is the Day of the Dead, which is like a 3-day celebration here. So we're starting to see a lot of altars honoring those ancestors that have passed before us. So the Day of the Dead, the Day of Remembrance, All Saints Day, November 1st, and then there's the American holiday of Thanksgiving, and then there's Christmas. So these are the holidays that are coming up. I hope you have good holidays. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to all my subscribers that have been with me. Excuse me for not posting more often. Please know that you can follow me, the Bangura Chronicles, on Patreon. That's Patreon. That's Patreon, as well as Facebook, where I update and I write regularly. And I hope you're all well. We're here in Mexico, doing well. Thank you, and we'll talk soon. This is Roxana Bangura of the Roxana Bangura channel, where I and my daughter Amaris share with you our life here in Mexico and beyond. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Hasta luego.